What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dre Day with All the Smoke Fight. I got the fellas with me, AD, Andre Dirrell.
You did.
AB, the other AB, Andre Berto.
Yes, sir.
We getting ready to get into it. But before we do, I just want to take time to thank All the Smoke fans and supporters. Man, y'all have been amazing. You know, we just getting started with this, but we coming out strong, and y'all are showing support. Y'all are commenting, you subscribing, and the views are going crazy, and we appreciate y'all, and we're going to continue to bring more smoke. But today, it's a big fight Saturday night with Canelo Álvarez and Edgar Berlanga. Some say it's the Mexico-Puerto Rican rivalry, even though this doesn't really feel like a rivalry between these two. You have Canelo Álvarez, who, countless rounds under his belt, 60, 70 fights under his belt, a lot of experience, and he's facing, a young man who doesn't have a lot of rounds.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of bravado. He's got a lot of energy, and those from New York, they gonna come like that, right? He does have a punch, but what do y'all think about this fight, and is the stage too big for Edgar Berlanga?
That's the great thing about him. Like I said, we're gonna have to see it. We're gonna have to see it on Saturday night. One thing about Edgar that I like, of course, is he's been talking the talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's been talking the talk, but like I say, that's that New York vibrato, but he has a steep mountain to climb. You're talking about a guy like Canelo, 60 plus fights, tons of experience, and not just the experience when it comes to him, like I said, just in the ring, but of course the circus that comes with him as well. That's gonna be a different type of environment that Edgar Berlanga is used to. It's not used to a sense, and he's gonna have to get his mind right in a different type of way. These are the type of moments that a lot of these young kids, when they ask for, but now you got it. Now it's time to step up to the plate and see what you're gonna do with it. You gotta be a different beast.
When I think about a moment, I love these moments for a young fighter because we all were that young fighter at one point in time and took that first leap, that big leap. I'm not just saying, I'm saying that big leap where it's like I've never fought this level before and the moment is gonna be bigger than I've ever faced before. I love those moments because one or two things are gonna happen. Either a star is gonna be born and you're gonna see that he has it. This guy, this young dude, he has it. Or he's gonna show that he doesn't have it. So I love these moments because I listen to all the talk and I listen to everything that's said, but in these moments, what's in you is gonna come out when the pressure hits.
That's right.
You can have a good training camp, you can talk X's and O's, but one thing you can't prepare for is what it's gonna feel like when you get off that plane fight week. When you walk into the lobby for the first time, when you drive to your hotel and you see your name on the billboard, you see your picture on the billboard. You can't duplicate that when you're doing more interviews than you ever have, but really you just want to stay in your room and rest and try to save your legs for fight night. When you're dealing with all the pressure of fight week, then the weigh-in comes. That's a moment.
Yeah.
These moments are all micro moments that lead to the moment, right?
Yeah.
And you can't really quantify that because it's not going to be a moment you've ever had before. You're going to weigh on the scale and you're going to look out and you're going to see more people you ever seen in your life at one of your weigh-ins.
It's a cold piece.
Then you're going to be in a locker room and you're going to hear a crowd that you've never heard before
Facts.
getting ready for this moment. And then you're going to take that walk and you're going to look out and you're going to see all these people, and whatever you feel, you can't duplicate that. So I love these moments for young guys, but it's also very, very telling to see what you really have on the inside.
Man, listen, the pressure is on for Edgar Berlanga. Why? Because he's been doing so much talking. And I'm talking outlandish too, man. Talking about 6-round knockout against Canelo. Listen, man, you've been put in a position. You've earned your spot, right? You did all this talking. Now
Did
it's
he
time
really earn the spot, though?
Check it, huh?
Did he really earn the spot, though, you think?
That's going to be subjective. Regardless of the fact he's undefeated, he has power, and people want to see what he's going to do.
But what's
against
earning your
Canelo.
spot, though?
Yeah,
What you mean? No, I'm talking to you.
For me? I think just right now,
You must feel like he didn't earn this. He did.
I
must feel like he don't deserve this
I
opportunity.
believe that's why he's getting so much of pushback in the media, because I don't think a lot of people, feel that he earned this spot.
But whether you feel like he made it or not, this one thing, I'm seeing people in the
he
comments,
here.
right? I'm seeing people in the comments.
he's here.
But check this out. I'm seeing people in the comments, right? Oh yeah, you shouldn't get this fight. Oh, it's crazy. He gonna get knocked out. But do y'all realize that Canelo picked him?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
am I missing something?
right. It ain't a big argument here.
So whether you feel like he deserves it or not,
I didn't say that he didn't deserve it.
but he was handpicked. So I'm just saying, let's get that out there.
Yeah.
This wasn't no accident.
He was handpicked.
Well, he's in this position now, and it's time for him to put up or shut up, right? He did a lot of talking again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if he don't perform, bro, listen, it's gonna be easy for the fans after all the big stuff he's been talking to exile him, right? If he loses, right, that's gonna be a big thing because he's been talking crazy about Canelo. He ain't been taking it humbly, and he don't got to. He had that dog in him, and that's why I love New York fighters sometimes, right? Because they talk that good talk. And listen, he might have what it takes to back it up power-wise. I don't think he has the skill, but he might have something in the power section to cause Canelo to take a few steps back, right? But if he get in that ring and not perform the way he talking, then, bro, his career. Listen, let me cook for a second. All right, let me cook for a second.
Cook up.
Hold on, do me a favor first, man. Put a little seasoning in the pot. Come on, man, let me cook.
Go ahead.
So if he don't perform, brother,
What is that? What does not performing look like?
If do everything he said he gonna do. Now you ain't gotta knock him out, but listen, you gotta show up to where. Listen, put it like this: Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. Who won that first fight?
Ali Frazier?
Yeah, who won that first fight?
Frazier.
You sure about that?
Ali Frazier?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
I ain't gonna count it as a win or a loss for neither. I'm gonna say this: the fight was.
That's Ali's first loss. Am I tripping?
I know you good, but look, watch this. The fight was so good that the fans demanded to see it again, right? And what happened the second two times?
Yeah. Ali
won.
Okay.
So it was more of a lesson than it was a loss, right? Ali needed that to show what he had, that he is the greatest, came back and did his job. Same thing with Castillo versus Diego Corrales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who won the first fight?
Yeah.
You feel me? And what happened with Castillo on the way back after getting knocked out?
Yeah.
See, the fans, he came back and knocked that boy out in the fourth round.
Okay.
You know, you got to perform so well, even if this is not about a win, lose, or draw for me for Edgar Berlanga. This is show up and show out if you can. If you can't, brother, the fans are going to exile you, man.
But that standard kind of low. That standard is kind of low to me. What you mean?
No. Listen,
no,
the
you said
mission. Wait. The mission has to be to win. That's first and foremost. I ain't counting that out.
I'm saying you just said that.
Listen. Go in there and win. But my expectations, and just like the fans, you already know what the fans saying. He gonna lose, man. We about to get knocked out.
But you already saying if he loses.
Did I tell you let me cook? Let me
Go ahead.
Listen, we already know what the fans are saying. We've seen this time and time again when it was an underdog, but still good enough to come in there and potentially do something.
It don't sound like you confident in Edgar Berlanga.
No, I'm not. It ain't my job to be. It's his job to be. He been talking it up. My expectation for him is simply get in there and perform, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do that, then the fans gonna exile you for all the stuff you've been talking, man. You've been talking too fresh.
Man, that's why I was like a interesting what you call it, competitor and smack talker. Like I didn't lead with a lot of smack talk. Y'all know I could talk smack.
Yeah, no doubt.
I could talk smack, but like I never wanted to say nothing that I didn't feel like I could back up.
Mm-hmm.
That was always my thinking, right? Like I knew like predicting knockouts wasn't my thing. I'm not predicting. I ain't Ali. I'm not predicting no knockouts. I always felt like I was gonna win, always. And when somebody tried to press me at a press conference or verbally, I always wanted to have an answer like, yeah, you think that, but this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that was always my thing with the smack talk. I understand selling a fight, but I'm not trying to sell something that I can't pay for at the end of the day.
Right.
So we gonna see with Edgar Berlanga, bro.
And that's just what it is. I mean, he definitely been talking. He's been talking big, but then again, it's like if you're in that type of situation and everybody's talking so crazy, you have to stand up for yourself in some type of way.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta talk your talk. This
sure.
is the fight game. You already know how it is. You know what I mean? Just being able to be in this type of, you know what I mean, atmosphere, you got to be able to stand up for yourself in some type of way. Either talk that talk or just back it up with these hands. Either or. Everybody's thinking that he's going to get knocked out. So yeah, he got to talk his stuff.
Yeah, and it's
You know what
like,
I'm saying? I mean, we still gonna find out what it is Saturday night. A lot
the
of people
thing.
might not believe it, but he gonna have to prove everybody wrong.
and I think too, everybody deals with pressure different.
Yeah.
I dealt with pressure. I went internal. I get quiet and I start thinking. It's like I get that look on my face. Like when I got pressure, heavy pressure on me, you know, because you can see it. He switched.
Yeah.
Other people go outward with their pressure. They feel like, man, I'm feeling nerves. So they go outward. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've heard, I follow Edgar's career, but like, I think some of this is him, and some of this is him in real time trying to figure out how to deal with the pressure that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
And as far as Canelo, I mean, he has all the advantages. He has the experience, and that's probably the biggest advantage he has is I've been here before, been on the big stage, been, got my cuts, my bruises, my scars, and I done bled in this ring many a times. I know what this is, son.
Yeah.
And so he's got the advantage there, but at the same time, Canelo is slowing down just a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be really a factor in this fight. You never know. Sometimes age shows up overnight, but you can see Canelo more and more fighting in spurts. Where he's not fighting a full 3 minutes. But that's when your mind takes over. When you dealing with a little bit more age, that's when your mind take over and you could be just even more efficient than you were when you were younger because I ain't got to fight in this spot.
That's a fact.
He young, so I'm going to let him get his stuff off for the first minute and 30, but the last thing the ref's going to remember is me getting off on you. So you see Canelo being smarter as he's getting older.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if Berlanga is going to try to make this as much of a learning experience as he possibly can.
Brother, what you mean? It's a fight, bro.
No, most definitely.
This is not
he's
college. This is not school.
He's there. He's going to have to show up at the end of the day, man. You know, I mean, like I said, Berlanga, just like he said, he's been in training camp for the last 8, 9, 10 weeks, and that's great. But that atmosphere is going to be something like he's never seen.
Exactly.
But just like our coach Verge used to say, he has to make up his mind
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
He has to make up his mind
We
right
did it
now
a long time
on what
ago.
it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got to make up his mind that, okay, I'm going to walk in this stadium, and if he hit me with some shit, I got to be ready to take it and keep coming back. Everything that we worked on during camp, I'm not going to steer away from that. It doesn't matter if the game plan goes out, I can't steer away on what the mission is. You understand what I'm saying?
You gotta go to another place, bro.
He has to. He can't go in there.
Do you think he's doing that?
I mean, we're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
You know, I think, we did a sit down with Edgar, and I liked a lot of what he said, and you can see he believes a lot of what he says, but he made one comment that concerned me. He said, at the press conference, man, I just wanted to show him I wasn't afraid.
Ramo.
It's not about that, man.
Yeah.
It's not a guy don't need you afraid of him to do something to you.
To whoop you.
A lot of times that's a defense mechanism to get you off of me. No, I'm not afraid. It's like, I just gotta show you, bro, we got a date. That's why the talking has its place.
Yeah.
Right? Social got its place, you talking, but we got a date, bro. You signed on the dotted line and you signed. You gotta meet me here on this date. So I'm not gonna give up a lot of energy trying to show you I'm not afraid.
Right.
I'm just gonna show you on the night, bro.
Yep.
You gonna feel me. So that's one thing, man, that really concerned me when I was doing that interview. I said, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not.
But I also think, though, this is a great opportunity for him as a young fighter because this is what you live for. This is what you dream for.
Yeah.
You thought you was gonna get in a position to fight the biggest fight of your life, and everybody or the majority of everybody was gonna be rocking with you and telling you, come on, Edgar, you can do it.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to walk through this, brother. You gotta be able to deal with them nerves. You gotta be able to go in your room fight week. And for me, I prayed, hey, God, give me strength, I need power, but I also knew I got my preparation, so I had faith and works that gave me confidence. I don't know what his thing is, bro. You got to go find your thing in this moment because coach going to go to his room at night.
Yeah.
Your family going to go to their room at night, and it's just going to be you sitting in there, and however you manage them nerves and them emotions this week, that's the difference between a win and a loss come Saturday night.
Yep. Listen, man, he's paying attention, and during this fight week, this is a big problem I had with him. You took it upon yourself at the press conference to speak on how De La Hoya feel about you. Like, bro, you can't worry about what Oscar De La Six-Pack got to say.
That's crazy.
And don't take that as a knock, Oscar, for real, man. If I'm in position to be able to do that, man, when I need you, I might do it myself.
He gonna flame you on Thursday, bro.
No,
Thursday. Thursday.
It look good.
He gonna flame you on Thursday. Don't let me.
Look good. But listen, man, Berlanga focused on the wrong things, man. Like, you worried about what Caleb talking about. You took it upon yourself to bring up what Caleb doing, pointing at Caleb speaking. Bro, you got a fight with Canelo to worry about. Listen, Canelo's proper response to "I'm not afraid of you" would be, "Okay, good. I'm glad you're not afraid. That way you won't run. I need you right there so I can continue to execute on you when I need to, right?" We can break that down in a heartbeat. He needs to understand he's in a great position right now, and he needs to take full advantage of this position to where the fans would like to see him again, whether he wins, loses, or draws.
Yeah.
The bigger mission has to be, I'm here to show up and show out.
Yeah.
Right?
We was talking about the fight last night over dinner, man, and you was telling me kind of how you saw the fight. I thought that was interesting, how
Yeah.
you thought the fight was going to play out.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like on Berlanga's side, he's going to have to try to gain Canelo's respect early. He's going to have to step to him. He's going to have to hit him with something that's going to let Canelo know, okay, I'm here to fight tonight. You understand what I'm saying? If not, if he doesn't do that, I believe Canelo is going to sit back, watch, look, take his time, and start picking his shots all night until he's ready for the kill. You know what I mean? Like, Berlanga's going to have to come out early and get some respect from Canelo. If not, it's going to be a very bad night. I mean, like, Berlanga has a whole pit bull in front of him.
Yep.
With 60-something fights, your knockout power, tons of experience. You better show up. You better get in there and just let him know, all right, listen, this ain't going to be no cakewalk tonight.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
All right, now what we going to do?
Yeah.
He's going to have to. If not, he going to be fooled,
Yep.
bro. That's it, period.
Yep.
You already know how it's going to go because, like I said, it's not just the guy that's going to be in front of you. Yes, Canelo's a bull, and yeah, he's a pit bull. He knows what he's doing. But then again, you got to worry about them lights. You got to worry about that crowd. You got to worry about everybody else that came to see you, all your friends, all the rappers that are,
You
you
gotta
know what I
worry
mean,
about
that you
the fight.
hanging out with. They going to watch you either rise to the occasion or see you get beat down. And that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I love it for Canelo too because you got somebody that's the hunter in Berlanga, but Canelo's being hunted. You know, he's got the crown, he's got the legacy, he's got all the stuff. And it's one thing for you to be the guy in the hunt, right? That's a certain level of pressure. Then you got the pressure that Canelo has where I'm the big name on the bill.
Yeah.
I'm carrying the card, been carrying these type of cards, and everybody expects me to win. That's a different type of pressure when you expect to win versus being doubted about winning.
Yeah.
So I want to see how he goes about his business too. And I think he's shown basically what you said the last few fights where he's very, very patient.
Yeah.
And, you know, Canelo is willing to bang, he's willing to brawl, but he's a really good boxer, man, with a high IQ. And it's interesting because the picture you gave about him taking his time, especially when you fight either a young fighter or just somebody that really don't know how to deal with pressure.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, like from what you about to say.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you're saying that, because I see that he is fighting a young fighter, that he can tell, it doesn't matter what Berlanga says, when he walks in that arena, he's going to have all the nerves. So let me sit back and see what this young boy going to do for the first round or two. See if everything that he's been saying, he's going to stand on that tonight.
But even the pressure, though.
Yeah. To see if he's going to handle it.
The Canelo's presence.
Yes.
I'm not throwing, but a faintness, you expect me to throw. I got you, but I ain't gonna get it right now. So in the first round, I'm gonna try it again round 3.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to deal with that, it'll start to drain you. And you'll look up in the third round.
Tired.
You gotta calm down. So Berlanga, he's gotta have his mind made up right now.
Made up right
and
now.
he's gotta know that those moments are gonna happen. And you gotta realize too, just like basketball. You got one team that'll go on a run, 5-0 run, 10-0 run, 12-2 run. You can't panic if your opponent is coming on, he landed a few shots, okay, he got the, crowd going crazy, okay, he got that round. You can't panic in that situation as a young fighter. You gotta know, bro, I got 7 more rounds left.
Yeah, that's fact.
So these are all the things that you can tell a young fighter who hasn't been there, but it's tough. You gotta really walk through it and experience it to have that confidence about it. But there are a few. There has been a few throughout history that didn't have the experience, but they had enough talent. The mental was there, and they got through that night. I want to see if Berlanga can get through that night, and I want to see how Canelo deals with this young guy who's strong and can hit the way that Berlanga can.
Any questions needing to be answered for Berlanga? he'll be able to answer those himself.
Well, it's fight night, my boy.
You know, for sure.
That's
You
the
gonna
night
have
of,
to.
that's the
It's
night of
fight
answers for
night.
both guys. That's why we love the fight game. Before we get into the stacked undercard, here's a word from our partners at DraftKings.
Boxing fans, Canelo versus Berlanga is nearly here. For the big fight, we've teamed up with DraftKings to give new customers a can't-miss offer. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will instantly get $250 in bonus bets. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Stay in on the action and use the $250 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. Parlay the winning fighter with how you think they'll win for a sweet payout. This is Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Do you think Canelo keeps his streak alive, or does the undefeated Edgar Berlanga shock the world? Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now.
So we just talked the main event, but what I love about this card is that it's a stacked undercard. And this card is stacked and riddled with guys that, you know, they trying to rebuild Rome.
Yeah.
They trying to show to themselves and to the world they still got it. They still fighting for their position. We got a great fight in Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia.
Every time.
We have Caleb Plant and Trevor McCumbee. I think that's your boy, Rolly Romero. Rolly. And then you got Stephen Fulton.
Yeah,
Cool boy against Carlos Castro. Yeah, this is like these fighters are trying to rebuild Rome, man. They're trying to rebuild their status. They're trying to rebuild everything because you know some people say, "Oh, you never had a loss. You don't know." No, I did have losses. I just didn't have many of them.
Yeah.
And I also had bad days, and I had bad fights where it's like, man, I ain't do. As a fighter, you always trying to regroup and tinker and lift up the hood and try to figure out, man, what's going on, man? This worked last time, but didn't work this time. But it is different though when you're coming off of an L, when you're coming off of a loss.
That's a fact.
You know, so what's your favorite story of the undercard or fight of the undercard that you're looking forward to?
Man, we've seen Danny Garcia's passion for being in that ring when his last fights, right? I mean, the tears, you know, be it anxiety, you know what I'm saying, and then the pressure of being in this ring and then performing, right? He wants to be here. This man got a good thing going on the outside. He's making money. It's clear that he loves the sport of boxing, right? So come Saturday night, he gonna want to put it on, and that's the fight I'm looking forward to more than any because Erislandy Lara, he the truth.
And
Right.
Lara
He
done
the
switched
truth.
up his whole game. Like Lara is one of the coldest Cuban fighters that have ever come out of Cuba.
That's a fact.
And we've known Lara throughout the years, even when he fought Canelo as a big mover, very slick, always tough. Now, you know, people think movement it means you something weak about you. That's not true. That's just a style that he learned since he was a kid. But now he's older, and Lara, like, I ain't got time to be moving like that, bro. These legs ain't cooperating with me like that. So you see that great IQ coming into play where it's like I got to get it a different way. So you see him staying in the pocket and now loading up on that left hand, loading up on the right hooks, and now he's getting knockouts.
He's taking him up out of there.
You know, so I'm excited to see what Lara does and Garcia. But a couple things that concern me about Garcia, bro, is that he said that when he got a call for this fight, he said I wasn't even thinking about boxing.
That ain't good.
What do that mean?
That ain't good.
Exactly. Maybe he came to terms with it. I've done that before in my career. Like with his career possibly being over.
And sometimes
and then he got that call. Absolutely.
But to be able to, I'm saying, like, already have your mind made up in that sense, then they call you for a big show like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough situation. Either you walking in here like, all right, listen, this is gonna be my last payday. At least I wanna have a nice payday before I leave, or I wanna really be able to show up and really try to make it happen. So I think with this fight, we really gonna see if he's coming into this fight just to show up and get another payday before he leaves, or he wants to leave out on a very high scale, like I just beat Lara.
I don't think it's about the payday. Again, man.
You don't think so? It's always about the payday. It's always about the payday,
okay,
bro.
so that's always going to be included.
Was you going to fight for free?
Huh?
Was you gonna fight for free?
Absolutely not. Don't be
Was
ignorant.
your passion, was your passion so strong for the sport? Was you gonna do it for free?
Danny's passion is so strong.
You think
right?
so?
He
Why?
wanted for
Why?
He showed that he loved his sport, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying,
he showed
but
that
why-
he wanted to be in the ring. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
A lot of guys gonna get in the ring for that
Yeah.
check too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
the
what
check
you
is
in?
always involved, but they ain't gotta be what's in the
bro.
forefront. It don't have to
That's
be.
for 90%.
That's not first,
That's
Bert.
for 95% of fighters, especially if they're on the back end of their career.
Okay,
It's
so
the
you just
check.
put Danny in the potential 5% then. That's not. Now,
don't believe
it's always about the money, but the money ain't always on the forefront. You can genuinely love
It's
this sport,
always
bro.
You can love it, but that man got a family
The
at
num-
home.
the
He
number
got
matters. Y'all
bills to
see the
take care of.
conversation
I'm gonna say
He
this
got a
to
whole
you. Let me
family
say
to
this
take care
you.
of, bro.
I'm gonna say this to
Y'all
you.
saw the conversation we had
I'm gonna
already
say this
about
to
this.
you. They
with
get
me.
the number right,
crazy.
your love gonna be a lot stronger
Absolutely.
than it would be if you didn't have
Absolutely.
it. They give you a low number, all of a sudden you ain't gonna be
more,
as low
man.
like you thought you was
Those
gonna be.
Those tears told me something else, though, man.
Nah, man, listen,
no,
bro. Like I said, I love both guys, Danny
Yeah.
and Lara.
I want to have a
That's
conversation
just,
with
I
him
just
about it.
bumped on that comment. It ain't. I'm not saying that's gonna make the difference in the fight. I just when he said that, I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right. And Lara don't seem like Lara. Like, man, I'm getting all the money out the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go as long as I can go in this game. Keep on paying me. So that's my favorite fight on the undercard. But my favorite story of the fight, Caleb is coming off of a loss, but he still his
trying to
last
rebuild.
couple fights he had. You know, obviously Canelo. Then he had your brother. And then he had Benavidez.
He's trying to rebuild to get that.
So he's in a rebuild, but the fighter that I'm most interested in watching on the undercard is Stephen Fulton, cool boy from Philly. And I say that because it sounds like he got a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, which is good. You go from fighting, a main event fight in Japan against NOA and making a lot of money to them saying, hey, this is all we got for you. You're gonna feel a way about that.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Like, I think part of the rebuild for a lot of guys is you got to continue to redefine your why.
Yeah.
Like your first why was I want to win a title. You got that.
Yeah.
I want to make $1 million. You did that. Man, I want people to know my name. Okay, they know your name. But now you just had a setback. You gotta you gotta redefine your why. So why you want to do it now? Man, they playing me like I'm a bum. They playing me like I'm still not that guy. So that I want to see him in this fight. I want to see how he look. I want to see how he responds.
Yeah.
I love the moments when guys gotta try to build something out of that heat because in the sport of boxing, bro, it's not if you gonna step on a landmine, it's when.
Yeah.
And sometimes
That's
that
deep.
landmine ain't a loss. Sometimes the landmine is getting knocked down. Sometimes the landmine is not looking good and dealing with public pressure and people saying, oh, you suck, you're terrible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of landmines in the game. He stepped on one in his last fight. I want to see how bro bounces back from that.
I think he's tasting a little bit of what the fight business is about as well too. You can have your managers, you can have your promoters talking good to you. I mean, your whole career, you go through a loss, yeah, you can't be on TV this time, my boy. You might have to do this, do it.
And that thing be hurting
that,
too, boy.
That hurt different. That hurts different. The same people that's been telling you a champ, that you the greatest, and that we love you, you're gonna be made event, we paying you this. You go through one time, one loss. Yeah, we ain't got no TV time for you this time. You know what I mean? It has to either put a chip on your shoulder. I mean, it has to do something to your head mentally to either show up and let them know, listen, I'm still that guy.
Man.
You know what I mean? What's happening? I'm gonna go ahead and knock this guy out and I better get back where I need to be at. You know what I mean? But like I say, that's the part of the fight game. A lot of guys, that's the reality of the fight game that a lot of these young kids either don't know or they just don't speak about. It's an ugly side to it. You want the fame, you want the recognition, but as soon as everything goes sour, it's gonna come back hard too. So how you gonna deal with that?
And now he got 2 landmines, man. He took a loss and people want to see how he bounced back from that. I'm sure that's on his mind. And now you fighting on YouTube. Now this is me calling the kettle black.
That's a cold
I
piece.
was in that very situation my last fight. No reason I should not have been on TV. I was on the YouTube card. And I had to deal with the shame of that, knowing where I was in the game, right?
Yeah.
But okay, that's the position I gotta play. You just said it. What's your why? I want to prove to the world that I still belong in this game at 39 at the time. I got in there. I knew what I was going to do. My mission was to stop him even if it happened in the last round. And I felt to myself that it would be more impressive to stop him in the last round than it would be any other, right? So when I got in there, when I went back to that corner in the 9th round, I told my coach, I'm about to go out there and stop him. That was my mission. I went out there and did that. I had all the confidence in the world, man. And that really lifted me up and allowed me to accept my retirement for what it was and go on about this game on the other side of the ropes. Now, for Fulton, he's still in his prime pretty much, man. And you telling this man he got to fight on YouTube? Listen, Fulton, don't be shamed by that, brother. Do yourself one favor. Perform. Do your job. You got one. Get in there and do what you need to do, bruh. Yeah. And it'll all come rolling back. And then when you in front of them lights again, fighting for a world championship, it's gonna be that much sweeter, baby.
Yeah. Man, that's a wrap right there, man. We're gonna leave it right there for another episode of Dre Day at All the Smoke Fight. And we're gonna continue to bring the smoke. We're gonna continue to have these conversations. Real, raw, and just straight from our experience and the road that we didn't walk down. So we want y'all to continue to comment, continue to follow, continue to share what we're doing, man. And also, man, let us know like what some topics y'all want us to talk about. We preview fights, we do reactions to fights, but then we also just have segments where we just talking about life and we talking about the fight game and we talking about things that fans really don't understand unless we share it with them. So let us know in the comment section what are some things that you want to hear us talk about. Till next time, man, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in.